Okay, this last week I had put off the mold lab because the mold hadn't quite grown yet, and also I wanted to give a little bit more instruction on what we were actually doing. It was mostly because we didn't have the mold, okay? So this lab is not very specific because I took a lot of it out. The reason for that is we don't want to do the dimorphic gradient because we don't want to be opening up the plates of mold because those spores can be airborne, and I don't want anybody to inhale them and get a respiratory infection. So what we're going to do is there will be plates of the different types of mold. There's going to be Aspergillus, hopefully, Penicillium, and Rhizopus, and then some unknowns that I just took some moldy fruit and bread and put them on there. And so for this, what you're going to do is you're actually going to look at the plates. And so on table 1, doesn't have a number, on page 257 is what you're going to do first. So basically you're going to take the plate, and they're going to be taped together. You don't want to open them. And it says to look at the hyphae color, the spore color, and the underside color. And for that, you're going to use a dissecting scope. We haven't used these in the class because microbiology usually thinks we need a regular scope. And so I just wanted to show you how the dissecting scope works. It's very simple. You look through the oculars, and you can magnify it not very many times. Actually, this one doesn't seem to change at all. It only has one magnification, so it's probably only about 10 times. It's like using just a magnifying lens. And basically, there on the side here is a main switch to turn it on, and then the light will come on. And there's 2 switches on the other side, and you can either turn the light on the bottom or on the top. So you'll just determine what you need to do when you're looking at the plates. So you're going to be looking for the hyphae, which are the stems that are coming up, and then the spores themselves, and then the underside color of the plate. Okay? And then it says make a diagram. So you'll diagram what you see looking through this scope. Okay? For the other part of it, we're going to actually have prepared slides of the 3 types of molds, the Rhizopus, the Aspergillus, and the Penicillium. And on page 258 is where you're going to draw a representative of each of those phyla looking on the prepared slide. So what you'll get is a prepared slide that has 3 different mold types on it. It has Aspergillus, it has Penicillium, and it has Rhizopus. And you'll have to determine which is which by using your book or your atlas or even this information here on page 254. And then you'll have to determine which one is in the zygomycota and which is in the ascomycota and draw a picture of that. And I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to let you figure out that one on your own. The other thing is on page 260, there's this table right here that says to fill out. You fill that out based on the slides also. And it says Rhizopus, Aspergillus, and Penicillium. And then it says asexual spores, sexual spores, and phylum. You'll have to figure out the phylum based on reading in your text here. And then also the spores, you don't fill in yes or no, you fill in what kind they are, whether they're an ascospore or a zygospore. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out because I hadn't had a chance to do that in class.